All right, it is January 17th. This movie comes out on January 24th. I am filming this on January 17th, which means we almost did it, guys. We almost did it. We almost escaped January without having a single dud. Almost. We were a week away. I feel like that Mark Wahlberg flight risk movie is going to suck too. So that would have probably ruined it anyway, but we almost did it, guys. Presence is directed by Steven Soderbergh and written by David Koepp. A family becomes convinced that they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs. This is billed as a psychological horror thriller. I don't know if I would call it that. Listen, Steven Soderbergh is one of those directors that I always admire, even if he's a very hit or miss director. I'm not necessarily a big fan of all of his work, but when he's on, he's on. And he's always trying to do something different. He has this unique style to his directing capabilities. This was apparently shot in secret over the course of 14 days or 11 days or what it was. And I happened to see this early last night. It was followed by a Q&A where I don't think that anybody could even justify the means for this movie because I did not like this. I did not think that this was very good at all. This is another movie that it's like In a Violent Nature where you see everything happening from the perspective of the ghost. And I knew nothing about this movie going in. I just knew that it was a horror movie. I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And when it starts out, I thought that this was going to kind of have a build up, sort of similar to Paranormal Activity. But the movie, unfortunately, never has that payoff. What the movie ends up doing is so out there and asinine. I didn't vibe with the actual what happens. Listen, the movie does have atmospheric presence. It is trying to build up to a big, low budget but insane finale that unfortunately never comes. And that is my biggest disappointment with this movie. It just this entire movie with where the outcome of this movie is, where the payoff should be, it just feels like a complete waste of time. It's an 85-minute movie. Soderbergh is very tight and concise with his run times. It's another one of those movies. It's a short movie, but it felt like it was way longer than it actually was. There are a couple of things that I did like about this movie. It's Soderbergh. I have to admire that he's trying to do something different here. I also did like the family drama in here. I think the family drama could have been a nice little foil, could have been a nice little addition to a bigger payoff. All these different family dynamics. The father and the daughter have a really good relationship, but kind of a sour relationship with the brother and the mother. The mother and the brother have a sour relationship with the father and the daughter, but have a good relationship amongst themselves. And it could have been something where they're all trying to reconnect as a family. And that's what the movie is attempting to do. And in those moments, it's actually fairly good, but the rest of the movie where it feels like it is trying to build tension, it doesn't have that payoff. The ending just doesn't hit as it should. Not to mention, the movie is not scary at all. How do you have a psychological horror movie as this has been billed and you can't make it scary? The biggest things that happen in this movie is like a glass moves or an entire shelf falls down. That's it. I was left cold and empty after this movie. I didn't feel anything. And I don't know what happened, but like Soderbergh in the Q&A after the movie had said that the idea for this movie came when he had a housekeeper watching his house as she said she saw an apparition and she called out to Soderbergh's wife but realized that they were actually gone. They weren't in the house. Why didn't he make that movie? That would have been really interesting. I think between In a Violent Nature and Presence, I'm kind of done with these POV from the ghost or killer perspective. It doesn't work. It's not working, guys. I'm sorry. I admire Soderbergh trying to do something really different. I like the family drama of the movie, but it's not scary. It didn't have the payoff. It felt like it was trying to rise the tension up to a point where you're going to be super scared, at least from a low budget standpoint, in a way that Paranormal Activity tried to scare you and probably did scare you, but that never came. And the actual plot twist did not work for me. I think this is the first dud of 2025. I'm going to say Presence is only good with stale popcorn. Did not like it, guys. Yeah, no, this wasn't for me. So when you do see Presence, let me know what you think of it. I know that Soderbergh's movies get a lot of critical acclaim, but they're very mixed on the audience reception side. So I'm curious. Let me know when you see it in the comments below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.